Okay, a very quick explanation video. I've got 5 boards I was asked to explain while I was gunning. I've saved a clip, 5 boards back to back. I'll try and get through them. It's a 3-minute clip with me talking. It'll probably go on for a little bit longer. I'll try it not to go on for too long. I know everybody gets bored quickly. So, first thing you guys know, I just want to try and loop the board, just make it smooth, no freestyle in my gunning. Just making sure it's just going underneath the 2 cannons. That's the only requirement, as long as there's some way of it going underneath. This is generally the regular way that boards will spawn for looping, half loops, but it can also be a little bit different. Sometimes it can go like that, downwards and then over. Just try, as long as it goes underneath the 2 cannons, I'm happy with that. So before I do any gunning with the dirty cannons, I try and get them all washed straight away. That's not always the case. Sometimes the water takes too long to spawn out, and I probably missed about a good, if I do it every single time, try and wash them out straight away, I've lost probably about 5 seconds on each board. Sometimes you will get the lucky spawns, you can wash all 4 cannons out straight away, which will help and will be a nice quick board for you. But just try and focus on the first piece you could put in on either of the cannons. That's the best way with the multi-loading. You'll see it once it gets started, but so it's also just, you know, the more you gun, the more you start memorizing pieces. Like, my eyes are already looking at what's on the board. I've seen that there's 3 spawns come out and neither of them are the water, so I am expecting any time soon a water to come out, and all 3 pieces so far have come out and have either gone downwards or right. So the next piece I'm expecting is for a left piece to come out, and it is going to be water. So the water's come out. The next one is a water as well, but I've already got the arrow up here. I'm already holding the arrow underneath it. I'm holding it, I've not clicked it yet. Once the water's gone above it, I'll release the click and I'll move my mouse down here to get the arrow in so the water goes in here. You'll notice that once the water's gone above it, I will just release it and the arrow will go blue here. So that's done it. I've cleaned those 2 out. In the meantime, I've quickly, let's just see that again. So once it's washed out, I've quickly put my mouse down here. I'm going to take it back up here, and because there's still an arrow up here on its last fade, I'm just going to get this, I'm going to bring my mouse back up here and make this arrow quickly go upwards and back down, so I get a cheeky little powder in it in time. Any piece helps at the time. The next piece that was flowing, because they're all cycling around really together, I'm just decided to wash this one out. The next piece that I'm going to do, so I've got 2 options really. I could either wait for the water to go to the top right, or I could continue doing the top left with the powder. I could also do the bottom right with the powder, but there could be confusions. There could be bouncing or collisions with the ball and the powder. I'm not sure, but just always take the ones that you're certain over the ones that could cause a bit of bouncing. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to focus on the cloth. Behind the cloth, the ball has followed up, so I'm just going to finish that one up at the top and then go down. My 2 powders are pretty much next to each other, and the only 2 cannons that are cleaned out so far is the bottom right and the bottom left. They've both passed the bottom left, so the next one to focus on is the bottom right. I filled that. Next option is I can either powder to the bottom left, water to the top right, or wait for the cloth to come all the way around. So naturally I'm going to go for the water top right. I'll clean that one out, and at the same time, while I'm going to clean it out, I've already placed my arrows and I've got 1 spare arrow still. So I'm going to go down to the bottom left, put an arrow in. Once the ball's cleared, I'm going to put the arrow in for the cloth to go in, and because of the delay with the water, I didn't have to worry too much about it. But at the same time, it had already started washing and the powder hadn't even gone in. So as a cheeky little thing, what I did was actually, because that is not about to fade, it still needs 2 more arrows. So I've quickly pressed one here as well, and I'm about to place one here. What that does is it gets rid of this key, so there's not, the ball doesn't just go in next. As long as I get rid of that, these 2 will just go downwards, and I can fill this one as a set. So if you just notice in a second, I've placed 2 arrows there to get rid of that arrow. the cloth and the ball have gone in, and that's a set. Next thing, yeah, so the next thing on the board is the cloth. The powder could go in the top right, but the cloth's by far closer, so I'm just going to focus on the cloth. What I could do is I could put the ball in here, but it's a whole set that's about to go around itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this whole set. I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to wait. Once this is passed, I'm just going to put my key, put the arrow right, and then just wait for this one to go top right and fill the whole set. So yeah, there we go. I'm just about to release that. I've already brought my mouse up here before I've even let the drag go, the click, before I've even made the click. Once I've clicked that, that's full. I've got a whole set there to just go straight in, and that's the whole set. Not a loop. Right, so this one loops. So straight away, looking for the clean. Looking for that clean. At the same time, I've noticed that the water's gone down here, so it's going to go left and up around again. So I can make 2 cleans there straight away. And before I know it, I've got 3 clean cannons, and I've got 1 dirty one left. Like I said, don't focus on just cleaning them all out, otherwise you're going to wait for this water to go all the way up here when I've got an option for this going in the bottom left, or I've got this going into the bottom right. So my next one is going to be the bottom right, so I'm just going to put that set in. I've already got a powder and a cloth there, so all I need is just a ball left. I've done that, so that's already 1 cannon done. I've got a whole set rotating in the top here, that's trapped. As long as I put the arrow there, they're not going to go up, so they're not going to cause any sort of conflict and bouncing. So I'm just going to wait for this to turn around, and I'm going to put the down arrow and just fill this one in. As long as I've only made 2 clicks, the arrow should stay there. These pieces won't conflict with these unless there was an unlucky bounce here, but like the travel time won't even it won't even get up in time by the time these have gone into the cannon. So that is a second cannon already filled. In the meantime, what I did was, because I basically made the set there, I knew I had the time to put in a cheeky powder in. So just any time you can get, just try and do something. I got my 2 powders are here. This is AWOL, this is just doing its own thing. Powder's all the way down here, so I can't really fill the right yet, but the cloth's already down here, so I might as well just focus on the bottom left, and the ball's following up, so I can follow the ball. Now the powder went up, the cloth went up, and that was actually quite a lucky sequence. Third board, once again, I've got a whole set here, to be honest, which is just broken up. So I'm just going to focus this, time it so that the ball goes in, trying to keep cleaning the cannons as I go. And now, because I cleaned that, I forced out the water from here, so now I've actually got a full set about to go in. So I've just followed it round, and that's the second cannon already filled. That's another simple one, cloth in, and like that. So the reason I decided, people ask me, why do you sometimes throw it overboard, why do you sometimes keep it going around the loop? Top right especially, because of the nature of the top, going top right, it can't loop round all the time. There will be places where it can either, the only time I will throw something overboard is if it can potentially bounce back and cause bouncing and confusion to happen on the cannon I'm focusing on, or the other one is I throw it overboard so it doesn't get stuck in a trap loop somewhere on the board. So basically I want to throw it overboard instead of sending it all the way over here and getting stuck in this little trap here. I'll throw it overboard and they'll just keep spawning from here and just rotating around the board. If they come out right side, what they're going to do is, because there's an arrow here still facing into the gun, they're just going to go upwards and into my cannon accordingly. So I've got the red one, I've got the powder already about to go in, so all I need is a white. I've got white here that just keeps bouncing, it's not going to go past because the arrow's still locked into the gun. So I'm just going to wait for it to bounce up, and all I need is a cannon now. The cannon's luckily spawned there, and just to kill a bit of time, I think I put an arrow here just to save that bit of time. There we go. Every click matters, every second matters on the gunning. So quickly, once again, washing them out, trying to multi-wash them at the same time. I've got a little nice set here. Just try and keep your sets together. The longer you keep the sets on the board, the more time it's got for it to break up. So the second you've got a set, try and use them. It's not always going to happen. That one's broken up, so that one's gone. So I'm just going to wash that instead. I can quickly put a cannon in the bottom. So now my next option is I need powders in all of them. Both of my powders are down here, so I can probably put one in here and one in here, which I imagine is what I'm going to do. So I put one in there, one in there. I put that overboard, so just so it spawns, and I just hope that it's either going to go left, because once the cloth is in there, the next one I want for that set is the gun, or it's just going to go right, which follows the loop, or it's going to go up here. But basically you minimize, you're basically giving yourself more chance of the ball staying on the loop. But if you just send it up here, it's just going to start messing around, causing bounces and stuff. So it did spawn downwards, but luckily I've got this one anyway. Filled that one in. Next piece, both of my powders are far away from the right, so I'm just going to focus on the bottom left. I've got a cloth here, and then after the cloth's in, I've got the ball down here. So I'll fill that, put the ball in, and then what I've got here is I've got a set in reverse, so I'm just gonna put the arrow upwards, try and get it in, but because of the loop itself, I didn't have time for the set to go up. It's gonna bounce back down. I got the cloth in because the cloth just kept bouncing until it went up and overboard. Now I just need a ball. I think the ball does actually cause me a few issues, just trying to catch one into it. Yeah, but I got it, just a bit unlucky. And just the final board now, a proper board, not a half board. Right, so clean it out again. I've got a whole set there. I did try and get it into there, but I wasn't quick enough. What happened was it just made me a bit flustered, and I did actually boot your cannon. All good, we'll just clean it out again. Go again. We'll clean that. At the same time, I've stuck a powder in there. It did cause this arrow to go fade for a second, so the cloth did sneak up here, but I have got a second cloth. I've also got water coming up, so I imagine what I'll do is I'll quickly just sneak this water into the top right. In the meantime, this as a set will be coming, and I'll just send my arrow downwards and I'll fill that bottom right one at the same time. Well, I didn't clean it, but I should have done. There's always ways to get better. So now I've actually decided to go clean it. So I'm going to clean the cannon. My next option is probably put a powder up there. Oh, but the cloth was there, so instead of booching it, I saved it. That was a nasty little set together. I'm not going to expect... Look, I know speed-wise this is probably the actual first bit of the video where I've actually do something like this. The more practice you get, the better you'll get at this, but being able to get one out of a set, it can be difficult. Like I said, the more practice you get with it, the more muscle memory you get along with it. But I've been able to stick the powder and the cloth in, send the other two overboard, and all I need for this one is just a ball. So I'll put the ball in. I've put the arrow back there, continue in the loop again. Just going to send the powder up there, and all I need now is a cloth. My next cloth is probably going to be this one, or that one that bounced up, and then all I need is a ball for that one, and that is it. So hopefully I didn't mumble on, hopefully I made a little bit of sense in the video. At the end of the day, it's a lot of speed with your mind, with the loops, but hopefully I just helped you explain what I was trying to think in the video. Even afterwards, when I was explaining it to you, because I had pre-recorded the video, what I thought I was going to do had changed by then. So a lot of it is just thinking in the moment. But yeah, hope you like it. Thank you.